What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of Bullish Chips, where we use a proven and repeatable strategy to make money every day. This channel happens to focus on the Bullish Semiconductor ETF, which goes by the ticker symbol SOXL. But the charting method and the trading method that we use can be implemented with any company that's publicly traded in the U.S. stock market. So make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe and notification buttons as well. That way you're alerted to when we release new videos. We do release bonus content from time to time. Thanks to all those who continue to tune in, and welcome to all those who are new to the channel. The nightly and weekend videos, like tonight's video, focus on identifying triggers and targets for trades ranging from intraday scalps and short-term day trades to long-term swings or leap trades as well. So if you want a deeper dive into how we set up our charts, the trading levels, broadening formations, things of that nature, make sure you check out the bonus content on our YouTube page. It's got a couple of videos out there that dive deeper into that for you. And if you're not familiar with the STRAT, which is the base of our charting and trading method, make sure you check out the description of this video for a free PDF quick reference guide. There's a link there for you to download this. It gives you all the basics that you need to know to understand the STRAT and a little bit of broadening formations and get you started. There is a big STRAT community out there in the web, so there's plenty of information out there if you are interested. But yeah, I encourage you to watch today's full video. We go through all time frames, so there's some pretty good insight that gets provided. And let's take a look at the agenda for today. We'll go ahead and recap the price action from Tuesday, April 14th, before we look at zoom out and look at the week, month, quarter, and year like we always do. Then we'll zoom back in, take a look at the 4-hour markers and the triggers and targets for Wednesday, April 15th, along with the review of the triggers and targets for the week, month, quarter, and year. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the charts, starting with the 5-minute like we always do. This is how we take advantage of our proven and repeatable strategy. And just a quick thank you to all those who have tuned back in. There did have a little bit of a hiatus here, death in the family, so I needed to step away. Didn't really think about charts or trading at all over the past week. So appreciate those who are continuing to tune in, and I haven't lost interest. I'll continue to provide these videos for you. Our team will continue to assess things how we have always assessed them, but I just needed to step away, and I'm the one that does the videos. So there was some posting on the YouTube page as well as Twitter with the triggers and targets a couple of days, but yeah, no videos. So we're back in action. Shouldn't see any more disruptions here. So just moving forward, just wanted to say that. But anyways, starting with the 5-minute like we always do, with our true tried and true method, right? That's looking for higher lows at or above opening print to get into calls, or lower highs at or below opening print to get into puts. So today we opened with the gap up, and so it was very reasonable to expect a little bit of a gap close, get some profit taking. We've been going basically straight up for, I don't know, a little over a week. Like I said, I'm a little bit out of the loop, but things are just basically just going straight up at this point. So really looking for just pullbacks at almost any level that is significant, right? So here we had the opening print right here at 83.27, went down, closed the gap. So it's perfectly reasonable to grab a call at this point, even though we are below opening print, right? Opening print is up here and we're below. If we look at in relation to the previous low, whether it be a lower low or higher low, this low on the 5-minute was a higher low. So from there, you got your equal low here, pushed up, lower high, but higher low to start the trend. Came back with the equal low, higher high. So it's just a grind, getting back to opening print. Could have taken profit there if you wanted to. We did on a couple of our contracts, but really we were shooting for that overnight high. You see we had a little bit of a pullback there, push back up, got that overnight high, right? Nothing to really sell on with that lower high on the 5-minute, because on the 15-minute here, oops, there we go. Because on the 15, right, just higher low. Oh my goodness, come on, thinkorswim, there we go. There we go. So it was just higher low, higher low, higher low, right? Just going up. No need to go over internals. They were just in trend higher zone. No real reason to go over the 1 hour, the 4 hour. We haven't had any higher lows or anything like that. We just continue to basically shoot straight up. If we look at the day here, again, just continuing to shoot up. We have gone outside this weekly broadening formation. So we are pushing up into, like I said, blue sky territory, all-time highs at this point, getting close to that market makers expected move high for the week up here at 87.03. If you're not familiar with the market makers expected move, make sure you check out one of our weekend videos where we dive deeper into that for you. But yeah, just continue to push up. Not a lot to say here. On the week, we did go ahead and make a higher high. So again, lower low to higher highs, just expanding this broadening formation that we've been in since February, right? Yeah, not a whole lot to say here. I did say multiple times in these weeks, right here, these 4 weeks that, we're getting the greater pullback, but nothing was breaking down from the higher time perspective. We stayed in our shares, we stayed in our leaps, and we are reaping the benefits of that right now. If you did happen to sell at these lows during, what was this, March, I believe, yeah, March, it's all right. It's a learning experience. SOXL is a little bit of a different kind of beast, being that it's triple leverage, but also just it's semiconductors, right? There's not, with the AI race and, everything going on with semiconductors, it's the leader right now. So, you expect more, bullish activity than bearish. And again, nothing broke down. Yes, we made a lower low, but it was from after a higher high, which again, I preached over and over. It's just a broadening formation. We bounced off the bottom of that broadening formation. We found the top of it and pushed through it. So now we're back onto these, higher broadening formations from further back in 2025, with a steeper angle from those, July to November timeframe push that we had. So we are getting up into these extended levels. Also, when we talk about let's activate that. Here are the Fibonacci extensions from the April 7th low, bull flag. If we just bring this here, right, here's the April low, here's the flag pull, there's the flag, right? So here's our broadening, here's our Fibonacci extensions, right? We're coming up to this 300% Fib extension, which is lining up pretty well with the market makers expected move high for the week. So, do we hit that level and get some type of pullback here? Possibly. But, as of right now, everything is so bullish that, there's no real reason to think that we're going to stop, anytime soon, because, nothing's really changed. So, yeah, not a lot to say there. On the month, talked about setting the higher low in March. Let's get a cleaner chart here. There we go. All right, set the higher low in March, and the magnitude for the 2 down, 2 up move was back up here at the 72.36 level that we had reached in February. Obviously reached that and continued pushing. Just a couple of things of note. There's 1, 2, 3 gaps that have been left here in this push. So, the pullback could be pretty violent if we're going to fill those gaps. But again, we're at higher highs, so any type of pullback, plenty of room to put in a higher low and continue the trend upwards on the month time frame. If we talk about the quarter, we've gone 2 up to just continue pushing through. We've gone higher high. Again, all-time highs here, so expanding this broadening formation, because again, remember, we came down and made a lower low on the quarterly perspective. Here's the 2023 low from the soft higher low, right? And then we come down here to this lower low in comparison. So there is a broadening formation, the bottom of a broadening formation here. And here is the other, let me just activate it. Here's the other quarterly broadening formation that was made. So quite a ways to go before we really run into that, right? If we're looking at hitting it this year, in this quarter, right, we got to come all the way up here to like the 130, 140 area to really hit this broadening formation. Don't think that that's going to happen, anytime soon, right? But by the end of the quarter, it could happen, right? I think we're in store for a little bit of a pullback. even if it's just to make a higher low in a 4-hour or 1-hour time frame. I'm sorry, 4-hour or 1-day time frame. But we're pretty overbought at this point, pretty overextended on the move. So I'm not saying that it's going to happen tomorrow, but just keep your wits about you. We should have some type of pullback, but just like before, nothing's breaking down from a higher time perspective, so there's nothing really to worry about, right? On the year time frame, again, nothing to really do here. We went 2 down, 2 up, ran that strat. Nothing really left to say, right? So with that, let's just take a look at tomorrow. It'll be kind of a short video today because there's not a whole lot to say. We've just been going straight up essentially. Where is our previous low a day? Oops, that's not what I want to do. Come on, there we go. So on the chart we have our 4-hour markers. Those are overnight high, previous high a day, overnight low, and previous low a day. Obviously overnight high and overnight low will probably move before price opens tomorrow, but those are the 4 of the major 4-hour markers. The 5th we won't be able to put on the chart until tomorrow, because that is the opening print, right? So let's activate this, and just for illustration purposes, let's say overnight high gets up to the market maker's expected move high, and then let's get the right tool out here. Let's say price opens, say we get another slight gap up, right? So let's say price opens here around the $86 level, right? So when price opens, if we push up, maybe get a little rejection off of the overnight high and pull back, but then get some type of higher low at or above this opening print level, then we want to look to get into calls targeting overnight high, because we will be already above previous high a day, right? That's usually our other target, previous high a day and overnight high. But since we're already above overnight high, previous high a day, overnight high would be our only target. Another thing to look at is just kind of like today. If we open, get the gap close, and we get some type of higher low in comparison to this low here at the close on Tuesday, I'd say it's worth the risk to go ahead and continue going with the bulls there, and where the momentum is. If we get that gap close, go ahead and get that call. Obviously you want to target your opening print first, because it's not really going to be successful if we can't get up over the opening print. So obviously gap filled, opening print, you could scale out a little bit if you really wanted to there, if you had multiple contracts in the money or something like that. With weekly contracts where it's really going to build up quick, then you might think about taking profit. Otherwise, you want to look for that overnight high, and then again, we're into blue sky territories, right? Now, if we open here and maybe close the gap, maybe go through the gap close and bounce off an overnight low and then push up, but maybe get a rejection off of like previous high day or opening print, get that lower high at or below opening print, we want to look to get into puts. Overnight low isn't going to give you very much magnitude there, kind of like the gap close here, but your next target is going to be previous low a day in this case, which is all the way down here at the $80 level right now. Again, that's going to be the ultimate target for that move, for the proven and repeatable strategy. But you need to take into account, we got full time frame continuity to the upside. All the momentum is with the bulls. You just need to watch out for any pullback. Pullback opportunities that bulls are going to take to buy, right? So if you do enter shorts at all, have a quick trigger with them, right? Just have a target that you're looking for. Be ready to unload it at that target. Once it reaches that target, if the trade starts to turn against you, don't fight it, right? Just get out, even if it's for a small loss, and get back with the winning side and get back to making money, right? So that's how we're looking from the proven and repeatable strategy perspective. Let's look at the 4 hours so we can look at things from more of a day trade perspective. Again, we just keep going straight up, soft higher low here. Otherwise, we're just 2 up, all day, every day. So if we do get the 2 down in that first 4 hour candle tomorrow for a 2 up, 2 down, right? Obviously entering at the low of the 2 up, exiting at the low of the 2 up to the left of the 2 up. Anyway, you know what I'm saying with the strat. I apologize again. My mind is a little bit distracted still, but trying trying to get this information for you guys. But anyways, 2 up, 2 down. If you know the strat, you enter at the low of this candle, exit at the low of this candle. Now, if you do reach previous low a day and there's still momentum, right? Obviously, if you got the combo 2 up, 2 down, that would be triggered, right? And then the magnitude of that move is the low of this 2 up. If we just the rug is pulled at that point, and we still have momentum, then we have this 3 combo 2 up, 2 down that would trigger, and then the magnitude would be the low of the 3, just below the opening print for the week, right? Again, momentum and everything would not suggest that we reach this level tomorrow, but it is still on the table as a possibility. Should we go to the upside, then again, it's just 2 up continuation. We've got market makers expected move high as a target there. We can also look at on these smaller time frame charts. We've got a couple of other fibs that are in the mix. The 178.6 fib extension of the drop from the end of January 2025 is right here, and we've got the 278.6 fib extension of the range that we had at the end of 2025. So a couple of more targets to the upside there. They do kind of coincide with this weekly and daily broadening formation as well. So that's where we'll be looking to the upside. On the day chart, let's get back to the day, right? We got this 2 up, 2 down possibility. If we go below previous low a day, then we're looking for slightly below the opening print for the week. And then if we go to the upside, again, it's just a 2 up continuation. Keep in mind, market makers expected move high, as well as the daily and weekly broadening formations that should act as resistance as well, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the notes here. Right, so this is for Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. There will be 181 trading days left in 2026 on Wednesday, and we know the close price on Tuesday, April 14th was 85.31. We know that the week, month, quarter, and year are all green. Here are the levels that we would have to go below in order to turn each of them red. The market maker's expected move from the close on Friday was plus or minus $10.64, giving us a range of or an expected range of 87.03 to 65.75. We're in blue sky territory already, so no gaps above, but there are quite a few gaps below, including a pretty big one down here at this $63 to $56 level. So just keep those in mind. We talked about on the scalping perspective, looking for higher lows at or above opening print to get into calls, targeting overnight high and previous high day, or looking for puts if we're getting lower highs at or below opening print, targeting overnight low and previous low a day. We also talked about on the 4-hour, there is the opportunity for a 2 up, 2 down, triggering 84.04. Magnitude of that move is 80.71. Pretty big move in the face of an uptrend that we're in. So we do have some intermediate targets there in case we don't reach that 80.71 level. And then to the upside, we just have that 2 up continuation, triggering 85.57. And we've got some targets out here for you of 87.39 and 89.78. On the day chart, we could get a 2 up, 2 down if we go below previous low a day, which is 80.71. And the magnitude for the 2 up, 2 down is 74.30. Again, pretty big move in the face of an uptrend. So we've got some intermediate targets listed here for you as well, where price can either bounce or stop and start going sideways. But if we do continue to the upside, again, it's a 2 up continuation, triggering 85.57, targeting 87.39, 89.78, and 91.20. All right. We talked about on the week, we already triggered the 2 up, 2 up. We triggered it and we're in force, right? We're above 78.30 still. We've taken out 2 of our targets, got a couple of more listed out here for you, just to take note of. If we are to go red 3 on the week, we'd have to get down below that 52.13 level. So don't think that's going to happen right now. But again, if there's a rug pull tomorrow or something like that, then this will come back into focus if that's the case. On the month, again, we pulled the 2 down, 2 up. It triggered at 62.82, ran the strat, reached magnitude at 72.36. Then we also pushed above, got that all-time high, and a couple of our other targets here. Actually, we got this target as well, so let's strike through that. There we go. So here are the extended targets that we've got here on the month. On the quarter, let's go. We got to underline this in bold. Because we triggered and we are still in force. We triggered the 2 up at 72.36. Again, reached a couple of our extended targets here, but got a couple of more that are listed out here if we want to continue to push up. All right. On the year, we talked about, we ran the 2 down, 2 up, triggered at 50.76, reached magnitude at 70.08. So not a lot to look for there. Just want to continue to monitor it throughout the year to see how that candle is going to close at the end of the year. So there you have it. Those are your triggers and targets for everything from a scalping perspective all the way up to the 1 year chart. Again, apologies for the hiatus, but again, I had a death in the family, someone I was very close to. So again, I didn't even really think about trading much until today, or even look at a chart really until today. So I thank you all those who waited around for the next video. And again, we do enjoy this community that we've built, and so we want to get back to it, kind of help take our minds off of it anyway, of the death anyway, and just get back to the living life. So again, we'll just finish it here. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but we'll close it off like we always do. If you're watching this Tuesday night, we hope you get some good rest tonight, wake up refreshed tomorrow morning. If you're watching this Wednesday morning or Wednesday during the day, we hope you got some good rest last night, and we look forward to getting out there and trading with you.